Welcome to the Witching Hour, where you're invited to tune in and drop out. Join us and settle in as you're guided through a trilogy of healing journeys to awaken, connect, and inspire. This is the Witching Hour.
You guys, I think we got dropped. My computer shut down.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. Do you have a computer in front of you, Mandy?
Hold on. I do, but I didn't have Blog Talk up. One sec.
It basically, my computer just went black and said restarting, and I don't know how it could have possibly stayed up if I was, calling into the studio and it dropped us.
Well, you know, I'm getting a little attacked on Facebook right now in certain ways just for sharing the witch doctor post. And, you never know. Maybe there's just weird things protecting us. But, man, I was excited to jam.
Well, yeah, and that's real interesting that my computer decides that it wants to do a little funky
update
thing that I've never seen it done.
They could be hearing us. It says it's on air, and it says the host number is in. Did you call in from your 303?
Yeah. So somehow maybe we're still hooked up. Sorry, everyone, for the few minutes there of uncertainty.
You guys banter, and I'll check and make sure we can hear.
Cool. Yeah, if indeed we are being heard, we'll go ahead and start from here. I don't know what's in retrograde, but at this point this year, it doesn't fucking matter. Everything's kind of in a chaotic space. But in that space, we can, of course, use the opportunities to make do with what we have. And so what we'll do is we'll just talk like we normally do until Mandy tells us if we're live and on the wire. So, Leah, how's the greater Chattanooga area?
Well, it is hot as absolute shit. Things are energetically just moving right along, which is interesting to witness, seeing, definitely still some fear-based things that are happening, but also really just kind of getting back to business as usual. And I personally am a bit conflicted with how people around me are handling it. But, I don't know. I've kind of really fallen into this beautiful surrender of there's only so much I can know and want to know, and I'm just going to ride this out and do what I can do and hold the vibration high, take care of myself, be good, enjoy what I can, do the work. Spending lots of time outside, enjoying the humidity. Oh my God, it's so terrible. I did a 3-day juice cleanse recently, a couple weeks ago, kind of preparing for Leo season, and then we're moving into fall really quickly. So things are just going, right along. And I felt really called to, kind of ground in and prepare for whatever it is that's coming next, because whatever it is going to be big. So getting grounded, staying open, getting ready.
We are live, sisters, just so you know. So we are on double check. Leah, I just love what you're saying. And really, ultimately, regardless of COVID and all the impending doom and gloom we have going on, the only way we can truly take care of ourselves and meet anything is by taking care of ourselves individually, the way you were just talking about, to meet the impending energies or physical threats or emotional threats or spiritual threats, whatever it may be, is to take care of ourselves and to glow up from the inside.
Yeah, well, isn't that what the Dalai Lama says? Be the change you wish to see in the world. There is no greater mistake than trying to rush out and change the world without taking the first several glances inward. And it's not saying you can't reach out into the world to do some healing when you haven't finished healing yet. We all don't finish healing. It's a continual thing, and we come in at different gravities of difficulty, I think, in our incarnations to start to keep testing ourselves. So learning is a forever thing. And as soon as we kind of put our heads around that as it's like a continual movement forward, we can kind of stay out of those dogma traps that often will suck you in and keep you there for a couple decades when you could have been moving and shaking. I'll give you an example of a pretty heavy-hitting dogma that people fall into. Hollywood will fall into Scientology dogma. They will fall into that space, and they probably intended to get some answers, and things resonated with them, just like anyone who would, want to find answers and start finding a crew or a community. And then they fall into that space, and then they start becoming very segregated against everyone else because they now have this common denominator. Christians do this too. We all do it, really. Common denominator that's similar, where we then start protecting our dogma. So it's easy to fall into dogmatic traps. I'm not saying don't pick a faith or fall into it, whenever you want. But the idea in these times when we're testing ourselves with to find as much ease and grace as we can, it's probably best to try to stay out of heavy-hitting dogmatic spaces. It's kind of like this year is a Mercury retrograde. Don't make any huge commitments just because it's just chaos right now. But it's all in good alignment, really.
I love how you describe that as protecting your dogma, because dogma is rising so much right now. Like, we are seeing it through and through everywhere with everyone and everything. And it's like, that might be a nice way to just assess yourself. Like, how much are you defending your belief right now and why? And can you, give it a little breathing room, or look from a different perspective, or maybe watch something that's really triggering you and sit through that and say, how come this is triggering me? And is this personal or collective, or what is this? Because until we start breaking down all that conditioning, programming, and dogmatic beliefs, we're not going to get too far, are we?
No.
Yeah.
And that's it. Oh, go ahead, Leah.
Oh, no, I was just going to say what I have been noticing is and I feel like from my experience, a lot of how I've experienced other people's dogma has seemed very extreme, but it just feels like, every facet and corner of existence these days has this extremely intense energy behind it. And it's interesting to watch because, I think it's like a reaction to people becoming triggered and, challenged in their beliefs and their feelings. And now they're really, probably avoiding doing some of this internal inquiry that us as healers, teachers, seekers have been doing for so long. And then, for a lot of people, I would hate to say, but potentially majority of people, this could be new, right? But it seems like people, because of this like intensity behind it, it's a process that seems to be moving pretty quickly, right? Where people are kind of triggered into that space. And like, it feels like even the people who are really kind of like doubling down on what it is, that you could feel that there's maybe this underlying energy of like doubt and questioning almost, where like people are, I don't know, it just feels like the awakening itself is really moving much, much quicker now than it, ever did in like 2012. Does that make sense?
I think so. That makes total sense to me, because people are really, every single person is uncomfortable or triggered right now. No one has escaped from this invisible virus coming to get every single person. So whereas in times past, not everyone was aware of everything. We didn't even start all talking to each other really until like 50 years ago. And then on the daily, be able to communicate with other people, like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's wildly faster than any time in our previous evolution or human history. And I think that's because every single person is threatened in some way right now.
I was watching this little piece, and it was talking about how each generation become more and more intelligent, where Einstein's IQ is so-and-so, I don't remember the numbers, but then indeed you have many kids under the age of 16 beating that. So what we're doing is we're collectively growing and think the goddess or God or whoever you like, but think our collective, our work, our movement forward, because without it, we wouldn't be here if we didn't go through all the trials and tribulations of this timeline continuum, i.e. the turn of the century in the industrial age in the 1900s. That really put a label on us as a producing industry, and of course the beginning of capitalism. And you can see we are now 2020, and so we're looking at about, 120 years later. We have ran capitalism into the ground. Yes, we are moving very, very fast. Because if you think about it, we were in tribes for millennia. Think about like the Native Americans on America. They were doing that for millennia, and they kept that lifestyle going pretty much similarly for so long.
So
and
we took it from them.
Yeah, and then within 300 years, maybe if you talk about like the 1700s, we fucking destroyed it. Oh my God, this is the process of which ego moves. Ego grows for the sake of growing like cancer does. It doesn't need anything. It doesn't want anything. It just grows because it can, and it's disgusting. And it grew, and it toppled, and it's toppling. And there's a lot of reasons why a lot of us are on the planet right now doing this work. So, ladies, do you wanna start off and get into our meditations?
Real quick, I do just want to say to our listeners that Witchin' Weekend is most likely going to be postponed because of all of the things happening in the world right now. So if you were just tuning in for an update on that, we want you to stay tuned to our event, but it will most likely be postponed. And
we are still holding space until I think at least the first or second week of September, so we will know for sure more around that time. Who knows, a wave of good luck come through. I don't see it, but we'll hold space for it.
We're holding all the space for all the good potential.
All the good things. Holding all the space.
Totally.
So today, if you've been keeping up with our episodes, you know that we took several weeks off. And I thought we were going to have to take today off when my computer completely crashed right in front of my eyes, but we're still here and going, so we got some angels on our side. I was like, of course, the time that I want to change the tune to a place that's a bit dark, the computer crashes. But either way, we do have a couple more planets that we can go visit in the Pleiades, and the Pleiadians are more than happy to take a back seat to what we have coming forward now. And so I'll do is what I normally do. I'll take us on a guided meditation in about 10 to 12-ish minutes. I'll pass you over to Leah, and Leah will then pass you over to Mandy. But instead of going to the remaining planets of the Pleiades, we are going to travel through some new dimensions where we're going to go get some soul pieces. And let's just make it a big soul piece, like pieces of the earth. So if we've created trauma on earth, so just look back at those 1900s I was talking about. When you do damage, and you do a lot of damage really quick, and your ego is out of control, you do leave marks. The earth does have an energy, and we have definitely left some scars. So what we'll do is something big to start off with, and we're going to get some energy back, soul parts back, missing pieces back, however you want to say energy back. You can use any words you want, of Mother Earth. We'll start there. And that will hopefully ripple out to many species, and then maybe we can get some more details next time. So again, thank you for joining us. This is the Witching Hour, and we're here every other Friday on Heart Over Ego Radio Network. So go ahead and go to any major podcast app, search that, you'll find us all. There's a bunch of us. So if everyone can just find their breath, you do this by noticing your breathing. Once your awareness is there, you begin to notice that it deepens naturally. And as you're noticing your breath slowing down and deepening, you're also noticing that with every breath, you become more and more relaxed. Your body is releasing tension. While we have you starting to relax, we're going to have you do a little imagery with us. Imagine all the cells of your body, billions and billions, trillions probably of them. Imagine them in any way, shape, or form you'd like inside of your body. What we're going to do is go to the center of every single cell, and we're going to push out fragments, frequencies, and energies around stress and anxiety and fear, replacing it with heart energy, acceptance, love, and courage. Just naturally, you start to feel more and more relaxed. And you start to feel lighter because we just took out layers of heavy energy that simply aren't servicing you anymore. And while we're inside of your so many cells, we're going to go to the center and we're going to see a light spark. That is your divine essence, the stardust, if you will. And you're just going to see that growing, and soon it's taking up the whole cell. And with it, it's bringing youth, longevity, and strength to that cell so that you can protect yourself from anything that might come forward, EMFs, 5Gs, things of this nature. It's one of our best defenses, and while we're in that relaxed space, starting to go even more relaxed and deeper, we can, with our subconscious mind, heal our cells, heal our DNA. Might not be when your human ego thinks it should be healed, but we can do it. And now we're inside those cells, seeing that indeed they look fantastic, and they're going to rejuvenate you when you're ready to come out of this nice, relaxing 45-minute stretch of guided meditation. So now please follow along with me. You're going to notice that if you wanted to, you could open up your eyes and you could move, but you have no reason because you're in a relaxed state. And you know more than anyone that yin energy is necessary and required in going forward in this spiritual battle, if you will. So please just see with us as we start our journey a field of rolling hills. As far as your eye can see, you're seeing green rolling hills. The grass is perfect color, dark green. And you notice right after the greenness of the grass, the blueness of the sky. The blueness of the sky is bringing you strength and love from above, where the grass and the earth is bringing you strength and love from below, meeting at that heart chakra in the center of your chest, bringing those divine energies together, so above is below, and making you who you fully are, a bright, shining entity from the non-physical, here to do all kinds of things, one of which is to help bring a balance back to our civilization as a planet. Hard job, but someone had to do it, right? So as you notice, again, the beautiful, beautiful blue sky and the green grass, you'll notice that the sun is beaming down on you, and not only do you feel it on your skin, and it feels so magical, you feel it soaking down past your skin to the center of your bones, where it's giving you vitamin D and calcium and strength and nutrient right to the source, right to your bones. And as we notice how good the sun feels and the blue sky and the green grass, we'll notice there's one more thing. One tree, only one tree. You and I are sitting knee to knee underneath it, and I say, "Are you ready?" And you say, "I am." You ask if you need anything in preparation. I say, "Bring all your guides, bring all your helpers, physical and non, because we'll need it where we're going." And when we open our eyes, we see a very long trail. I see that we have the same color green grass, so it makes me think we're in the England area. We'll keep walking, and Spirit will lead us to where we need to go. Spirit's taking us down the path. There's so many of us in physical and non-physical form walking through these dimensions. We have some energies that want to introduce themselves. We got Martin Luther King, we got JFK, we got Marilyn Monroe, we got Jim Morrison, and we've got a couple others that are kind of joking around. So we got George Carlin, he's over there laughing, smoking a joint. It's cool. So we just keep walking, because Spirit's going to tell us where we're going, and I don't see anything in sight. So either what we're heading toward is dimensional, or they're explaining stuff to us, and they say we're going to explain stuff to you. So as we're walking down this dirt road, beautiful green grass on each side of this path, Spirit saying, keep going. You're going to go to a different dimension from here, but the fairies will take you. You're going to go into a dimension where you're going to be able to see where you're going, but they're saying it's not real important to understand it. So as we do all these esoteric things, it is good to keep in the back of our mind, this is subconscious work. This is not the conscious mind mathematics work, not in that way at least. And so as I see the picture coming in more clearly, I take a look around at all of us, and we look like Scottish people. We have very interesting clothes that make me think we are Scottish, and this spirit is agreeing that we have taken on that imagery and shape-shifted, if you will, to Scottish warriors. And I see that we look a little rough and tumble, which I guess is where we're supposed to be. So we just keep walking forward, and Spirit is showing me a castle, but they're saying we're not going to go inside the castle because that's not where we need to go. We're going to meet the fairies outside of the castle gates and go through a side dimension to get whatever we need to get that's inside of that castle. Spirit says it would be unwise to go straight in, and I listen to Spirit most of the time, especially in times like this. So as we get closer, I start to notice that the gravity is changing, and it's getting lighter, a lot lighter, and suddenly our perception focuses, and we see a bunch of fairies and little people sitting on top of flowers, and we have now acclimated into the fairy dimension. And the fairies and all these little people are saying, quickly, come with us, we know the way, we'll get you back in and out in 30 seconds. And I say, bet, let's do it. So what we have the fairies saying is, close your eyes now, open. And they're saying that there's a tunnel, and only a tunnel, and that's all that we can see, and we're all running. The fairies are leading us, and they have bright lights coming out of them so that we can see where we're going. Fairies are lining all of our heads as we run down this tunnel in a single file line. Keep moving, they say. Keep moving quickly, and we go, and we keep running. And up ahead, I see a door, and I say, guys, there's a door. I'm going to get us all in. And as soon as I get close, the door magically opens. The fairies say, isn't it nice having us around? And I say, you better bet your ass. And so we walk into what appears to be an empty room, but there's only one table in the center of the room, and there is a crystal ball on it. Fairies tell me to grab it and crash it. So I grab it, I throw it on the ground, and inside of it is a leaf, and it looks like it has a bunch of infection and disease on it, and I see that after I take it out of that case that it was in, it starts to turn green, and it grabs onto my arm and moves all the way up all of our arms. Mother Earth is guiding us toward strength and love, and she's putting all of her essence for saving her in this manner in which we are putting a lot of essence into our energies, and suddenly the vines grow all the way around our arms and all the way into our hips and legs. It's just like we're turning into like an X-Men that is a vine. And I say, let's do it. This will be fun. So what we have is Mary Magdalene saying, okay, you guys are in. I'm going to take it from here. And she goes, now you see all of this green energy around you and this beautiful leaf that has gone from disease to healthy. Now put all of your energy inside of that leaf. So all of us are just breathing this earth energy. There's thousands of us breathing our earth energy coming from our heart and soul. Mary Magdalene ruling the roost here with us, orchestrating us like we're a beautiful symphony, and we put all of our energy in this leaf. And what I do is I leave it because it's going to start to deteriorate this tunnel. It's going to blow up the mind so that nothing else can get inside of here, as well as the leaf will stay healthy and no one can change it. Whoever put it into that crystal ball wanted to see the earth die. We're saying, no, you can't. And so what we do is we're running through the tunnel again, and as we're running, I'm seeing all these vines falling off of us because I see that the gravity is getting heavier, and I know we're getting toward the end of the tunnel. And we jump out of the tunnel, and we're outside of the castles, and the fairies say, quickly back down the path. We'll talk to you in the field. So as we're all going down this long, windy path with the green grass on both sides away from the castle, we notice that we are underneath the tree again. We walk right into it like a portal. And what we have done is left that leaf with all of our beautiful strength and energy and intention in that dimension, and it's going to start to trickle out and shine like a light and do its work. We may be doing something similar to this again in the future, but if not, just know that we just traveled through dimension and left a trail of heart energy and left an energy pool in that leaf that cannot be destroyed no matter how strengthful the energy that comes toward it. So we're just going to leave little nuggets all around the dimension that we plan to ultimately channel to or travel to do some more work into the future. So just know that you are being utilized in the most heartful way with your beautiful skills to bring back awareness and strength and to go to the center of the seed of evil and start to put lights in there and spread it all around. It's a hard job and it will be a long job, but we start somewhere, right? And as I notice that we're underneath the tree, I notice that everyone's looking very satisfied and happy, and we feel like we've done a mission that was most beneficial. And Spirit is saying, indeed, you have. So know that you are doing your part, not only in the physical world, but in the dimensional and shamanic world to come at what we call a multifaceted ego or evil. So thank you for joining us, and I'm going to hand you over to Leah.
So as you're laying underneath the tree, take up space, get really big, open the eyes just so you can see the leaves on the trees above you. What do they look like? Just get a good idea of how they move with the wind. Maybe they're beginning to lose a little bit of their green and lighten up a touch as the wheel turns. And then you're spreading out under the tree, so the shoulders and the back of the neck and the head are heavy in the grass. Legs are wide, arms are wide, palms face up, and just feel yourself being totally supported by the earth underneath you. Again, gazing up at the trees, and then we're closing our eyes here. A couple rounds of breath. And then opening your eyes, and you're viewing the leaves and the sky above you, but then you begin to tap into the sound of running water coming into your right ear. And as you allow your head and neck to roll over towards the right shoulder, you open your eyes and you see this really crystal clear stream trickling over rocks, grass on both sides, leaves fluttering in the wind above you, and just begin to tap into the sound of the water here. And then feeling into the connection of your body to the earth, the grass beneath you, the wind on your face, the moisture in the air with the water. And then we're just going to take a moment here to cleanse post-journey through dimensions. So if you're comfortable where you're at, connecting to the earth, breathing into Pachamama, stay there. Or in your mind's eye, begin to move yourself into the water. And then as you're in the water, really gently begin to submerge, maybe feet first up to the knees. And then can we bend over just really gently so that our fingertips and hands begin to feel the water of the river beneath us. And then maybe you just kind of really lightly brush water from the river onto the arms, across the chest, the face, maybe into the hair. Allow it to fall down on the shoulders. And then feeling the energy of the water, just pulling any excess energy, maybe even stress, tension, negativity, anything that you're feeling here that doesn't feel high vibrational and service for you in your journey, allowing it to fall away with the water. And you're breathing here as you're supported. And then what does this look like for you? In your mind's eye, continue your own practice of cleansing with the power of nature. We've just brought back this beautiful heart energy, right, needed to promote healing and change and magic here in this dimension on this planet. And we're just taking some time to cleanse ourselves energetically. Maybe you're in the water, maybe you're just laying on the grass and allowing an energetic exchange to happen here between you and the earth. And continue to breathe. And Mary Magdalene comes in and she says, I need you to remember that we are here for this exact reason. You can't forget. And we're not going to become hopeless And even in our moments of weakness, can we remain strong and hopeful that good always overpowers these lower vibrational forces, right? We have the heart space, we have the wisdom, we have the intuition to continue to move forward, not only in the highest good for ourselves, but for the planet as a whole. And it's little rituals like these where we return to nature to cleanse and to do the work of the subconscious, that we remember our dharma, our purpose, our path, and we maintain our connection to that so that we can continue doing the work not only for ourselves but for everyone else here on this planet, on this journey with us, continuing to breathe here. Full breath into the belly. Feel the rib cage expand as the belly button lifts. And then maybe you'll open your mouth and like verbally exhale, sigh out the breath. And do that 2 more times. Energetic exchange as you inhale, fill up fresh prana and new energy, high vibrational energy. And then exhale, release, 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 release from the depths of your being, anything that no longer serves you. 1 more breath like this. Inhale, 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 inhale. Fill up. Open the mouth, sigh out the breath. And in your mind's eye, if you're not already there, laying yourself back down on the grass, taking your awareness to the center of your belly, the womb space, the seat of our Kundalini creative life force energy. Breathe into this energy center as you inhale, full expansion of the abdomen, and exhale, softening even more deeply into your space. 2 more rounds of breath. This is all this is about. We're connecting with the body by breathing, expanding, exhaling, we're cleansing, we're softening, we're surrendering. Your awareness in the center of the belly. Take your awareness to the right hip, awareness to the left hip, awareness to the right knee, awareness to the left knee, awareness to the right foot, awareness to the left foot, soles of both feet, soles of both feet, soles of both feet. Awareness to the right shin, awareness to the left shin, awareness to the right thigh, awareness to the left thigh, awareness to the right hip, awareness to the left hip, awareness to the soul of the body, soul of the body, soul of the body. Awareness up into the heart space, awareness to the right shoulder, awareness to the left shoulder, awareness to the right tricep, awareness to the left tricep, awareness to the right elbow, awareness to the left elbow, awareness to the right forearm, awareness to the left forearm, awareness to the right hand, awareness to the left hand, palms of both hands, palms of both hands, palms of both hands, awareness to both forearms, awareness to both elbows, awareness to both upper arms, awareness to both shoulders, awareness into the heart space, awareness into the heart space, awareness into the heart space, awareness to the back of the right shoulder, awareness to the back of the left shoulder, awareness to the center of the spine, awareness to the back of the right hip, awareness to the back of the left hip, awareness to the sacrum, awareness to the sacrum, awareness to the sacrum, awareness to the center of the spine, awareness to the right shoulder, awareness to the left shoulder, awareness to the back of the neck, awareness to the right ear, awareness to the left ear, awareness to the right eye, awareness to the left eye, awareness to third eye center, awareness to third eye center, awareness to third eye center, awareness to the crown of the head, awareness to the back of the head, awareness to the back of the neck, awareness to the nose, awareness to the sides of the face, awareness to third eye center, awareness to the crown of the head, awareness to the crown of the head, awareness to the crown of the head. Taking a full breath in through the nose, filling up into the abdomen, but also energetically through the crown of the head, drinking breath down, fresh prana from the crown of the head all the way down to the soles of the feet. And then as you exhale, just feeling it all melt from every part of your body onto the floor, into the grass. Breathing like this here, inhaling, filling up the abdomen. Fresh prana comes in through the crown chakra, all the way through the energy centers to the soles of the feet. And then as you exhale, sending light and old energy out through every cell of the body. Last one like this, full inhale. Maybe you pause at the top as you reach your physical peak, allowing that light energy to move through the crown into the rest of your energy centers. And then exhale, shooting out light and old stagnant energy all together at once as it moves out of every cell of the body and softening into your physical space here. Remembering that the work that we do on our physical selves has a direct impact on the work that's happening on the planet spiritually, energetically right now. Can we commit to showing up for ourselves and maintaining our wholeness from the inside out through practices like this, through moving with our body intentionally, by creating space in these meditations, drinking high vibrational water, and spending time in nature. So taking yourself back to your mind's eye and visualizing the river that we were laying down beside before. And maybe you just roll your head over to the right one more time and you kind of like smile to yourself because the air feels crisp and the water is clean. And then taking really, really gentle motions to press yourself up into a really beautiful seat, all in your mind's eye. Turn to face the river. Nice tall spine, and let's turn our palms face up and feel yourself grounding down into the grass via your root chakra, so the sits bone. And then opening the palms of the hands to receive the energy of the water, so inviting in that cleansing essence that the river provides, the fluidity that she teaches us. Bringing in the mantra of Pachamama, I am coming home to the place where I belong. Returning to this sacred connection between your human vessel and the earth herself. May we work together to maintain this connection and to heal each other as we retrieve these lost parts of ourselves for ourselves and for the planet as a whole. Staying here in this space, getting comfortable, staying grounded, feeling refreshed, feeling light, and preparing yourself to journey next with Mandy.
So as you sit, nestled by the tree, looking at the beautiful river, you're aware that Mary's still with you. She's standing next to you, looking absolutely beautiful, in a long red dress. And she turns and says, "Would you like to go on a journey with me?" And you say, "Of course." So you stand, and she says, "I want to show you something, and I want to experience something with you. Would that be okay?" And you say, "Sure, I'd like that." So you start to walk, and as you start to leave the tree in the grass, you can see all the beautiful vines. It almost looks like you're walking through a jungle as you're heading towards the river. And the river is bright and blue and very see-through, tropical. It looks like it has life force all on its own. It's crystalline, yet it's the bluest, brightest blue you've ever seen. And the color just attracts you, and it makes you feel happy. And as you continue to walk up across the path, you get a little closer. And you notice that this river is thin, and there's a little cave next to it, kind of in the middle of a mountain, covered in vines. But there's just a little bit of an opening, and you can hear the water going in and making waves crashing against the rocks within the cave. And you say, "Are we going into the cave?" Mary says, "We will, but not yet." She says, "I want to go for a swim first." And you say, okay. So she says, come, let's get into the river. So you both start walking and you get into the river, and the water feels amazing. It's warm and nurturing, yet refreshing at the same time. And you feel like your entire biomagnetic field was just cleansed. And you suddenly wipe some water across your face and you taste that it's salt water. And you say, are we near the ocean? And Mary says, yes, this is just a river coming in from the ocean. Are you ready to swim? And you say, I am. So she says, follow me. And she dives. And as she dives down, all of a sudden, she starts to change. And she looks different. And she becomes a dolphin. And you start swimming behind her and kicking and trying to catch up. And all of a sudden, before you know it, you're a dolphin as well. And you're swirling and moving as fast as you can, and you're surprised, and you're not sure what's quite happening, but you've never felt so alive and so excited in your life. Complete euphoria is washing over you, and bliss in the unknown, and how could this even possibly be happening? You suddenly hear giggles and clicks, and Mary turns to you in dolphin form, of course, and she speaks to you telepathically and says, isn't this fantastic? And you say, yes, what is happening? And she said, well, I wanted to share with you one of my favorite incarnations on Earth was when I was a dolphin. And when I come down and I visit your planet and I enjoy time and space with all of you, I like to go for a swim and I like to remember what that felt like. And you're just blown away, and she suddenly does a twirl like a torpedo, and all of a sudden you see that you're suddenly out in the water, and there's beach not too far from you, and waves crashing. And she goes and starts to swim, and all of a sudden jumps out of a wave, almost like she's surfing. And she says, this is really fun, you should try it. So you're a little nervous at first, but then you say, okay. And it's almost as if your dolphin body is just taking you on this ride and allowing you to experience it, and you're holding on from within. And so as you get closer, you see the waves breaking and you see the perfect one and think, okay, this is the time. So you start swimming really fast and kicking your tail and making splashes, and before you know it, you're riding a wave. And it's suddenly silent and magical and crystal. And you feel like you're in this moment, yet you're stepping out of it because it's happening so incredibly fast. And then all of a sudden, splash, you drop back in and you feel the water running along your body again. And Mary comes by and she says, wasn't that fun? And you move out a little bit to where the waves aren't breaking and the water is nice and calm and relaxing. And she says, sometimes I just like to turn over and float. And you turn over next to her and you both float and hang. And she says, one of the reasons I chose to be a dolphin was because I just like how similar they are to humans in so many ways. And I actually chose to be a dolphin before I chose to be a human. Although I guess they kind of happen at the same time, so it's hard to explain that. But I really enjoyed being a dolphin, and I chose to do that. Dolphins are playful and sensual and loving, curious. They're sexual. They love their families. They create relationships, and they're incredibly intelligent. And they're able to explore things that the humans haven't even been able to begin to think of seeing yet. And it's incredible to come in with that perspective. And so you just look around with wonder and enjoy floating. And she says, are you ready to come with me? I want to show you something else. And you say, sure. So you start to swim. And you swim back and you say, are we done in the ocean? We're heading back towards the cave. And she says, yes, I want to bring you into the cave. You say, okay. And you start swimming.
It booted us off. Sorry, guys.
Oh, shit.
I looked, I was like, I just happened to look back on the thing and it's like episode ended, it's not running anymore. And I'm like, man, what the fuck? I don't know when it ended. It recorded something, but I planned it for an hour. We should have 15 more minutes, and it just decided to do whatever the fuck it wanted to do.
Okay.
So
my side says it's still streaming.
Oh, shit. Well, I I looked on who's on the call, and it's not even. I don't know. It's not showing the.
Cool. I'm gonna end it. So if you were all tuning in, we love you. You know how we roll. See you soon.
Over here, it's saying